Welcome back, everybody, to the Who Do You Like Here podcast. Joey C-Note and the Kid. We're heading over to Gulfstream this week. It's Pegasus week. Huge week of racing. Graded stakes, late pick 5. Lots of action coming up. Lots to cover. We got special guest Elio Imbornone, the Iceman, going to be joining us here shortly. Kid, how you doing?
Good. Really good. It's nice
Excited for this week?
Yeah, definitely excited for the week. It's nice to record when my brain is fully functioning as well. You know, not early in the morning. It's nice. It's nice to see you've got a Syracuse shirt on rather than a Buck shirt. So we've got one of the best handicappers in the game coming on, and good friend in Mr. Ice. So yeah, it's a good start to what I see as a profitable weekend.
Yeah, great card for Pegasus. They really set up a really nice card for this week throughout from top to bottom. So kind of excited about that. Did want to recap real quick last week. Just an excellent week for the podcast overall. Congratulations, Kid.
Congratulations
really
to
nailed that. We really nailed that pick 5. Listen, it was cheap. It was chalky. It happens. But at least, when you're talking about the races and we're going through them, at least the top 2.
Yeah,
right? I mean, it's your top 2. You didn't have to go past the top 2 picks to go ahead and cash on the pick 5, which is always fortunate and always appreciative. So didn't pay as great as we like. Had some opportunities, some seconds and thirds that had a lot of prices that we kind of just fell short on. But listen, a pick 5 is a pick 5. We'll take it. Maybe we got to stick with Fairgrounds after we get off of the Pegasus. I don't know.
I don't know if I can. It's just bet Jose all the time, you know. Jose and J Love, I feel like, are the 2 jocks that are getting it done the most. But
top 2 jockeys for sure.
Plus, I don't know when they're going to race again. They've got 10 inches of snow in New Orleans, so
I think they'll be racing this week. I don't think anything changing. Turf will be off probably, but which is a good point. We're going to Gulfstream. Have you looked at the weather? It's been cold out in Florida.
It snowed in Florida as well.
Great.
Snowed in the Panhandle.
They're looking for 68 on Saturday. No more moisture in the air, so that's a positive. So hopefully it keeps everything dry, keeps everything fast. So that's the way I handicapped everything staying on the turf. We got a lot of turf races in this late pick 5 that we got to pay attention to. Well, other than that, congratulations on the pick 5. Let's get a pick 5 this week.
That would be great. It's going to pay some balloons, I think. Always on a big race day. I mean, obviously the pools are inflated, but there are
I think there's definitely
horses in here. So
there's some price possibilities, also some favorites that make a little sense. But let's go ahead and bring on the talent that we always bring on here. One of our favorite guests to bring on, obviously. Elio has been coming on here now for, I think, the last couple of years. Pegasus is our day that we always bring him on. I think we've gone 4 out of 5 is the best we've done on a Pegasus day. Let's see if we get 5 out of 5. Bringing him to the main stage here.
There he is.
Elio, how you doing, buddy?
What's up, guys? I just went out to dinner. I drank a bottle of wine.
Nice.
I ate so much. I can't even move, but I'm ready for handicapping. I'm ready from some horses, some real horses today.
Did you eat more food than when your dad feeds you?
Oh my God. I ate so much. I can't even tell you. I'm so sick of, like I said to Dave, I can't eat till like midnight tomorrow night. That's how much I ate. We had like 3 appetizers, 2 main meals, dessert, coffee, 2 bottles of wine. There's 3 of us. So, and I don't really drink. So this should go pretty well today.
But you handicapped before, so you're just
done.
spitting out.
Yeah, it's already done.
You're not capping on the fly here.
No, this was done beforehand, so I'm ready to go.
So I guess since you're there, how is Florida? How's Florida looking right now?
Yeah,
I'm so upset because it's cold. It's cold. It's cold. It's like today I went in his pool. I went in the pool today. It was 60 degrees. The pool was like 80, 79, 80. But it was like 60 degrees out. I left about 13 degrees in Boston. So tomorrow is going to be colder. Tomorrow will be in the 50s. But I guess Saturday will be better. So,
yeah.
That's what it's looking like. 68.
68 it's kind of a Saturday. Bummer. It's kind of a bummer. You go to Florida hoping for 80-degree, 90-degree weather.
I have 3 bathing suits, T-shirts. I don't have any. Dave, like the last second, he said, "Bring your winter jacket." I was like, "Why would I bring my?" But yeah, Yeah, it's cold.
Yeah, it was funny. I was watching the name show today, and he's like, "Oh, Ice just walked in." He's like, "He's gonna be pissed." He's like, "It's freezing cold."
It's so cold. I went right into the pool, but like I lasted about a half an hour. It was too cold. Too cold.
Yeah, tough.
Oh well.
That's all right though. That's all right.
We get to bet horses, so
That's right.
That's a good thing.
Exactly.
Positive. So being at Gulfstream, I don't know. We talked, Kid and I talked the last couple of weeks. We got a little more information last week about Gulfstream possibly closing down. Any insights on that or thoughts, like with the decoupling from the casino? And you love going to Gulfstream. I know you do.
I do. I like it. I like Gulfstream. I like. Wow, all 3 lights. What the hell just happened? All 3 lights. Oh wow, that's.
Dave
good.
shut the lights off on everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Lights out.
It's so.
You spent
cold
too much
with the
on
lights
dinner. We
on.
got to cut back on electricity.
Yeah. Whoa. No. So I've heard that, but where are they going to go? Tampa? Like where are they?
That's the
Yeah.
talk. Yeah, is Tampa is going to be the main track then at that point. If they
I
take
love
away,
Tampa. I love Tampa, but I mean, what is that supposed to happen? Because is it all because of the Stronachs? Is that what it is?
it's
Well,
like
it's the Stratus
go
Group.
ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And the casino.
yeah. So they
It's
got
all
the
about
casino
casino.
license, right? They said if they coupled the racing and the casino together, they get the track and they get the casino there. And then now they don't want the track anymore. They just want the casino. Basically, it's kind of the way it seems like. And
It's just easy money. That's
got all
why
that real estate.
they don't want the hassle
Exactly.
of the horses.
the upkeep of the track and all that fun stuff. But to get
They've
rid
got
of
all that
some of the
unused real
biggest
estate.
days. Yeah.
Yeah,
all that
I
unused
know.
real
The
estate
real
that they want
that's
to
the
take, and
problem.
it's valuable property. They want to utilize it. They want to build a bigger casino and extension on it. I get the concept of it, but racing got you there. It's the girl that took you to the dance. Like, you can't
Yeah.
just turn your back.
That's
on
what
it.
happened in California, at Hollywood, right? That's the same sort of thing.
Yeah,
Yep.
I don't
it's
like
happening
it.
all over.
I don't like it. Yeah, I don't like it.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the fact that Gulfstream has the 3 tracks that the turf, the poly, and the dirt. Yeah, is it my favorite track? No, but yeah, I'd be upset if it left.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think a lot of people would. There's also talk about Hialeah opening back up, like reopening Hialeah and utilizing that. The neighborhood's better. They've done some things that the property value and the cost would be lower than the prime real estate. So
Okay.
there's talk, but who knows? I would hate to see it leave. It's lose any tracks at this point.
I know.
exactly.
I feel like the tracks that are left are sort of the ones that everybody sort of wants. So yeah, I'd be disappointed. Hialeah, I don't know very much about it. But I mean, you know
It's
what?
been closed for years.
we've been we're obviously huge fans of racing, but let's be honest, they haven't done much for the players lately. So it wouldn't surprise me.
I mean, the one thing we talked about obviously is when you start getting rid of tracks, right? I mean, this is a major one. This is like you start getting rid of some of the major tracks, and you're starting to really limit what is already skimpy, clientele. So hopefully they don't. Hopefully they figure it out. Hopefully we got a few more years of racing at Gulfstream. But
exactly.
Definitely some dampering news. Especially at missing out on a day like tomorrow or on Saturday. It's a great day of racing all around. But I don't think we can. Before we start handicapping, we got to talk about last time we had you on, Elio. You and Turk took us to the cleaners and just absolutely ate us up in the contest.
That's a lot of luck. I think I gave him. We had enough cheese. We had enough cheese that week for like 6 months. We fed like my whole restaurant with Wisconsin cheese and Milwaukee. It was good stuff. So
good.
Yeah, next time we'll do some. Hopefully you guys hit it off with Boston clam chowder or something like that.
Yeah,
or some good. Tony's pizza.
Yeah, Tony's pizza.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, ship it out to
Large
Milwaukee.
cheese.
Great.
Large cheese pizza. $9.99.
Yeah. I'm assuming you have the tie. You're wearing the tie tomorrow, probably.
Yeah, I have the tie, of course. Yeah, definitely. I'm only gonna
be wearing it.
Might go for a couple races tomorrow, but not till Saturday. Saturday, big day. 11 a.m. start. 11 a.m. post time. We'll be ready. I gotta I have one more day that I have one more chance to win myself into the tournament. If not, it's a $6,000 buy-in, which I'm crying about. But remember, I came in third place last year.
That is true.
So I have to enter.
You got it. You have to.
Yeah, you got to be in it.
Contest mojo. You have to.
Although I've played like 6 or 7 horse tourneys, so I've basically already bought my buy-in already. I can't get that money.
I didn't tell the kid, but you had that as we talked earlier in the week, you had that entry and you missed out on placing by, was it 80 cents?
80 cents. 80
No
cents.
shit, really.
80 cents. I mean, and it was my last race. I had 11-1 shot. It was a pick and pray, so you already advanced bet them, so it's not like I could change it.
Right.
My horse was 11-1 when the race went off, and then when the race finished, it was 8-1. He came in second, and I lost by 80 cents.
That's brutal.
Yep,
that's brutal. That's brutal.
That's the name of the game.
That is horse racing. Yeah,
that's
that actually sums up horse racing in a nutshell. You know, just missing.
Right.
But I'm excited about the card. I like the card. The turf racing, especially, it's going to be interesting to see how the turf plays. There's some nice cards, nice fields. I feel like there's some good favorites, but also, they can be beat too. And the horses a couple of the horses that I have are like morning line 15-1. So I'm happy about that.
Yeah, I think
let's jump right in. Let's go on to the handicap portion. So we're doing the late pick 5 races 9 through 13. So 13 race, big full day of racing on Saturday. Starting out race 9. Race 9 is 1.5 miles on the turf. It is the Grade 3 William L. McKnight, purse of $215,000 for 4-year-olds and upwards. Elio, you know the rules here. Your guest gets to go first. So who do you like here?
So again, I was saying I like prices, but actually in this race, I think it's the second or it might be the favorite. I like the 1-horse limited liability. The good thing about this race is that the horses that I like underneath here are all prices, but limited liability, just a real solid horse. Buyers are all in the high 90s. It looks like the class of the field. You also have the, I believe there's one of his second choice is I don't know what the second choice is, but the 1-horse, I after the last race had a little bit of a layoff. There's about 2 months layoff, came in first, second. I love those like 60-day layoffs. And prices underneath, I think you can get there with some underneath horses. I have 8-13 as well, but I'm with 1, 8, 13.
1, 8, and 13. I'm just kind of looking at. So the 13 is the 13 and also eligible?
Yeah. Hopefully gets in.
Yeah, man. Okay. Last week I there was a horse that I liked, but I thought it wasn't also eligible, and the kid's like, no, it's not an also eligible. That was built at Fairgrounds last week. So I have to look back at who's in and who's out, and things can change because those also eligibles. They seem to like when they draw in. You really got to pay attention to them.
Yes,
those ones that draw in, especially in these races.
Mm-hmm.
Especially in the big races.
I love these full fields.
I guess I'm going on a little.
Love it. I love these full fields.
Yeah, there's nothing better than a full field 13 horse race. Especially on the turf too. That's where you get paid. You know, those races I love when you hit those races. You can bet
nothing
cheap
like the prices.
Yeah, the prices. I'm saying like the prices are great. You can bet cheap and you can
right.
You can bet lots of combinations and still get paid really, really nice. So.
Absolutely.
I guess I'm going on a little bit of a limb here, and I don't even know what the odds are. I don't see the odds here, so I'm going to probably rely on Elio to let me know where the odds are at after I pick here. But I'm actually going to go with the 3 in this race, which is probably a stretch. Cathkin Peak. Here's the reason why. It's turf, right, where the rail's at 0, and there is no true speed in this race, if you ask me. Or there is only one true speed, and that's the 3. I think everybody else has options to run, but the fractions that the 3 has ran the last couple times. Just alone, if you're just looking just the last 2, the most recent 4, 46-2, 47-2, 111, 201, and a 159. Those times, the Turf Cup alone, finishing with a 225, that time, I know the horse fell apart at the end. The horse has a tendency to fall out late, But when you're running those fast fractions the way this horse has, really had to go and try to steal these races. He's not out there by 3-4 lengths. He's fighting at that length and a half. In this race, I think he's going to have a little more comfortable lead. I think he's going to be able to go to the front. I think the four is a possibility of going with them, but I don't think those fractions will be as vigorous as you've seen the last 2 races in the Sycamore and the Turf Cup. If that's the case, and Jose's on the front and gets to set a nice pace for this horse from Mike Baker, I think this horse could actually last and be able to win and hold on. I wish it was, a little less than a mile and a half. I mean, I'll take, a mile and 3/16, a mile and an eighth all day. A mile and a half is stretching the boundaries, but it's all about the pace. I think Jose is going to be able to hold on. I'm going to put this one on top. And the workouts coming in, I love the workouts. The 59-4 on January 13th was kind of the boost. But he also had some decent ones since then. December 15th was a nice workout. The minute and 1/5 on December 22nd. Some standards here on the 28th and the 4th of January, but coming in with 59-4, I like the times. I think they're going to go with it. The horse only knows how to go now since the barn change here, and since Mike's been training this horse. They've just been putting it on the front end, and I think it's going to pay off in this race. So I'm going to take a gamble with the 3. My underneaths are definitely going to be the 1. I like the 7 a tad. I like Harrow just for the simple fact Safi Joseph and Edgar Zayas usually his best horses. And I like the 224 that was running an optional claim in 80. Big jump in class, but I like that maybe as an underneath play in the exotics. And then I got to stick with the outside with Utah Beach, the 11, and Bold Act, the 12. I like the 11 better than I like the 12, to be honest with you. There's no public workouts for the 11, which has me kind of a little worried. Small sample size, although that Sycamore 108 speed figure is pretty nice. So that's kind of where I got stuck with. I'm going to go with the speed on top for only that reason. 3 with the 1, 7, 10, 11.
Yeah, I'm kind of aligned, except on my top pick. I do have the 11 as my top pick. Not sure, like you said, what the odds are, because obviously I handicapped the same as you. I don't see the odds prior to the race. But that 108 speed figure is just screaming out at me, and they finished second in the Sycamore. I think if they want to run a 108 speed figure in this race, it's definitely going to be the horse to beat. Looking at the races, right, this horse is a distance specialist. It's Charlie Appleby, William Buick. That also dangerous combination aboard here. And they gobble up a ton of ground every single race. They come from the clouds, basically. And, last time Sias was aboard, first time aboard, and just couldn't get the nose down. William Buick has won on this horse before, obviously knows when he needs to go. And, that's my top pick as the 11. I have your 1. I think the 1 is also very strong here. I like what you guys both said. True contender here. Again, another horse that's kind of a distance specialist. The long races is where this horse flourishes. DeTore, back-to-back races, bang-up jobs on both. 97 speed figure, won by 8 1/4 in the $500,000 stakes race, and then followed it up in the grade 2 and finished just a little bit short. But again, I'm just taking the combination on this point. I love what I see when William Buick and Charlie Appleby team up together. So that's why they get a little bit of an edge over the 1 for me. And then I have the 8 as well. I think the 8 is someone you have to look at here. Yamato. Also, again, long races. They do well. These turf races, Gulfstream, they're no slouch. They've been there before. They've ran against the turf, won on the track before. I think it's a sneaky pick. I think Sai is a maker, on a big race day is something to look at.
Yeah.
And again, good speed figures coming into the race. They've been on the all-weather. Personally, I think I like them better on turf anyway. So, I have the 8 underneath. I think they're going to gobble up some ground. They might sit stalking, but I think they're going to be gobbling up ground too. So a lot of closing angle in this race for me. No speed, just closing for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, an 11 winner too. That's all. Like that 8. Now, like I love both those choices, you guys. Like that 3. Now I'm thinking about it is, how many times have we seen, like, especially turf, early like lead slows down the pace. Everybody's just going slow behind him, and then boom, all of a sudden he wins the race at 20-1.
Yeah.
Untouched speed on the front, always dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, if he can get a 48, I can't see the horse not being there. He just had to push 46s and 47s at halves, and there's nobody to go with them. There's really somebody may go with them that has no clue that shouldn't.
Right, you didn't know, right?
And then but I mean, to really press, there's no one that's going to press into 46, 47 in this race, and that's why I think he's going to have a little more, comfortable lead up there. And Jose's really smart on that. I think he's going to pace it out well. I like everything we just covered here. That 8 is way better on turf, by the way. They've run it on dirt and 2 synthetics last year, and I think getting back to the
Synthetic
turf
wasn't bad, but the turf I think is where they need
Yeah.
to be.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah, that was an off the turf race, which was still a third, which you can't complain on that.
Right.
I mean, to be honest with you, I know in a good track for it was $100,000 non-stakes race, was probably why they kept them in the race, or they probably would have just scratched. But first time out, let's put it in the dirt, it's in the mud. They still ran third. They cashed a ticket. But the synthetics were decent. Just has to get back to turf. I think it's the best opportunity.
Listen,
Very
we have a box try 13811 box try. I love that.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Book it.
Book it. Let's go ahead and head over to the 10th race. 10th race is a mile and a 16th. This one's on the turf. It is the Grade 2 Pegasus World Cup Filly and Mare Turf Invitational. Purse of $500,000 for fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and upwards. Elio, who you got?
So I actually have the 11 here. 11. Let me just look at it. Okay, so first time off the layoff, he had about a 8-month layoff, and he was 1 length behind. Ran against some of these horses. I think there's going to be a lot more speed in this race. He was off a step slow. He's getting a mile and 16th. I think it's a mile and 16th. Yeah, this time he ran a mile. Last time he finished up about a length short. So I am 11. Pletcher, Ortiz, 8-1. Workouts coming in. He's ready to go. 11.
Okay. Bless my stars. 11. Yeah. So I'm kind of right next to you there. I stuck to the outside.
Yep.
In handicap in this race. I actually went with the 10 in this race. The more I kept looking in and going back and forth, it just seemed like Sacred Wish makes the most sense. Probably going to be your favorite. Johnny V for George Weaver. I think the added distance here also helps, right? Horse has been like a mile the last 3 times. But those races were Del Mar and Kentucky Downs. He's traveled over to Belmont, Monmouth, Keeneland. This horse basically just runs where the money is at and where the opportunities are. And that's kind of where George has been taking this horse around, kind of parading him throughout the states. But I like the added distance because the horse is moving late. He has a decent late pace kick. Been running in a lot of graded stakes races here, most recently the Grade 1 winner at Del Mar. That was a field of 11. You don't see many 11 horse fields at Del Mar. So it's nice to see that it wasn't a field of 4 or 5 that he won this race.
Yeah.
That he won this race in. So on that note, I mean, beating horses in field of 11, third in a field of 10, second in a field of 12, used to big field, should be a big field on Saturday. The workout coming in on January 18th, 4 furlongs, 47-3, 4th best that day. I really love the workout. I think the horse is really sharp. Now, I don't always like horses that have their career best speed figure and then coming into the next race, but this is one that I'm going to kind of give a break to. I would normally, there would be a negative for me. But amongst this field, I still feel has a great opportunity. Probably not going to run a bang up 95 this time. But even if this horse runs a 93, 94 in that same kind of form, can still beat these. So I'm going to put the 10 on top in this race. That's my top pick. Underneath, I do like the 1. I think Frankie Dettori has a nice opportunity here for Pletcher on a horse that, forget the speed figure, third beat Sacred Wish last time on a mile on the turf. And I think would also like the added distance here. So I think it plays well for Rakia on the 1. And Dettori. I like the 3 Be Your Best. Edgar Zayas, Safi Joseph Jr. a 98, 91, 2 speed figures, all graded stakes race. Again, little added distance probably is going to help this horse as well. And then I'll go for my third choice for the underneaths, right next to my 10, Edwin Gonzalez on Jack Sisterson's Ocean Club. Just a horse that's in really good form right now. Speed figures, they kind of hit and miss. They go up and down. It's moving up a little bit in class, but has run with some good contenders. Second to Be Your Best last time out. I think it's a better trip this time. 4 times over the track, a win, a second, and a third. Should hit the board. So that's kind of where I'm at from the numbers side for the underneath. But I like 10 on top of the 139.
Yeah, we're very, very similar in this race. I had the 10 as well as my top choice, Sacred Wish, just because that last race, I mean, in the Grade 1, I mean, there's a lot of things you can say about this horse. Like you said, travels all over, travels well. They travel to where the money is, like you said. This horse's 2 worst races were with Paco, and those, the 2 and 3 races back where they finished 2 and 3 lengths off. If you look prior to that, this horse is no more than, like a length and a quarter off when they lose.
Yeah.
It's always right there. It's always competitive. It's always coming right at the nick of time. Either they get the head down or they pull away. But if they end up losing, it's not by much, So I like my chances on a horse that looks like it's always trying. always there at the end. And like I said, that last race kind of shows what they're capable of. I hope they sit off. I hope they take a little bit of a stalking trip just off the pace, just off the speed, and then hopefully pull away down the stretch. So I have the 10. I also have your 1, which I think obviously is the speed here. Just showing off of that last race. I think taking a look at it, Dettori's got himself a good opportunity here. I almost put the 1 on top, just simply for the fact that, again, untouched speed at the front end could be very dangerous in a race like this, especially where you don't know if anybody else is going to go with them. So very dangerous in the front end. I think a very big competitor. I don't know how much I feel or how good I feel about the stretching out distance here for this horse. Went a mile last time and now you're stretching out a little bit further. But again, that always does play a little bit of a factor, at least in my opinion, to some of these horses, and especially in a race coming into. So but I have the 1 underneath, and the other one I had is the 6, just because there's so much unknown. This is the gambler in me. There's so much unknown with this horse when it's racing in Santiago, Chile. You don't see much on the form from what it is, but this horse is coming out of 3 straight races, 2 of them in grade 1 fashions. Granted, I don't know what their grade 1s are like in Santiago, Santiago, Chile. But again, nonetheless, it's a grade 1 race, and you're coming off of 3 straight, and it looks like you've improved, every step of the way. So, and it's Jose. I feel like
and Ortiz takes the mount too, right?
Yeah, exactly. So it's like it makes me feel like there's something there. Again, this is the gambler in me. This could be a horse that absolutely comes in last. And I'd be like, okay, that's fine. I took a shot, but just the way it's coming into the race, the form, looking at the distance, everything checks out for me. Always on turf, so everything kind of fits the bill from an unknown perspective. But yeah, I'm gonna take the 6 on the board as well.
Santiago, Chile.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to Santiago, Chile? Twice. Last year. That's something about Mary?
Yeah.
Who's been to Santiago, Chile twice, man?
I'll be right back. Go ahead.
Yeah, Dona Clara has been there twice. That's who's been there twice. Going back to the 1, I just want to recap something on that 1. We both like the 1. I know we mentioned it. The only thing about the 1 that I did downgraded for me, I know she beat Sacred Wish last time out, is that she really had an easy way at the front, 23, 48, 113, and 2. No press, just really easy going. I don't think you're going to see those kind of fractions get away with that. Harder pressed, I see her fading. I like her underneath, but I did not like her on top for that same reason. So I don't think you're going to get those kind of fractions in this race. So
agreed.
That being the case, that's why I really liked the 10's opportunity in this race. All right, we can go on to the 11th race. We can keep the train moving. 11th race, 7 furlongs, grade 2 inside information stakes, purse of $215,000 for fillies and mares, 4-year-old and upwards. Elio, who do you like here?
Listen, you don't have to go any further than the 2, 5 for 6 lifetime, 2 for 2 at 7 furlongs. Absolutely perfect trip. 7 furlongs, exactly what this horse wants to go. Lightly raced 5-year-old, 7 furlongs today, 3 for 3. So I'm taking the 2. I also have the 9, another logical choice. But, morning line with the 2 is 5-1. I love that. If you get 5-1 with this 2 horse, you might have to unload the clip. So I am 2 and 9.
I like the 2. I really do like the 2. And I'm actually I'm gonna go ahead and hedge for you here, Elio, and I'm gonna take the 9 on top.
Okay.
Emery, Tyler Gaffleone, Brad Cox. Just strictly over the late pace figures is why I had to go with the 9 when comparing it with the 2. More of a sample size here. I would say that it hasn't been a big success with Tyler and Brad Cox hooking up and being successful. They've had a lot of underneaths, but they haven't had a lot of success at the top of the board. But when I look at the body of work here for Emery, the Ravens run was a great race, 97 speed figure, and 95 in the test on a muddy track, and was still a contender, and a 101 in the victory ride up at Belmont, which was a victory, and then 2 back also, 2 more wins, not graded stakes race, optional claiming. The body of work alone says everything is fitting for Emery. The workout on January 12th, that's a nice 5 furlongs at 101.04. I thought it was very comfortable after the layoff. So sharp enough for me to go ahead, and if it was running more 4 furlongs, I like the 5 furlong works for horses that are coming back over a period of time. We all know Brad Cox brings back almost 30% on 90 days away. So not really worried about the time off for Emery. So that's why that's kind of what gave me the nudge.
Yeah.
But there's nothing wrong with the 2 at all. Nick Style has got a lot to like. I mean, the last two races, 121-4, 122-2. Both of those drawing away, not
Yes.
closing and barely winning, but drawing away at a 7 furlong distance, which we're going to see on Saturday. If you play it both ways, you're probably going to be solid. I'm taking a little bit of a gamble here by the 9, but I would not be mad if the 2 won this race, hands down. 2-9, definitely the top 2. If I'm looking for prices, and hopefully I am finding some prices, I don't know about Sterling Silver. Talking about Jose Ortiz again for a Bill Mott horse. I think it's an opportunity to be coming off the pace. I like the cut back in distance. Been running a route the last 2 times in non-graded stakes races. Probably needs a little bit of relief from that, but it is stepping up in class, so strictly on the underneath side. And then I also like the 7 as my last pick. 7 being Mystic Lake. This is Irad Ortiz. He'll probably find some way to fuck up my exotics, definitely over the course of Saturday. But the horse is really classy. I think you could take out that distance race that the horse ran on September 21st. If you toss that out and go back to all the sprint races, there's really a lot to like here. 100, 92, and 95 speed figures the last 3 times out. It's Irad, it's Safi. Probably going to run this one. Decent workouts coming in the last 2 on January 17th and January 10th. Both of those at 49-2 and 49-3 for 4 furlongs. So 9 on top, 2 second, 7-3 for third.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Elio here. I'm going on the 2, Junior Alvarado and Bill Mott. You know, I like that Bill Mott's got 2 horses in this race because I know that Alvarado's always on his best horse. So played kind of right into my handicapping. Like you said, a lightly raced horse, you know, is very consistent across the board, you know, does the same thing, gets to the spot when they need to. Junior Alvarado's ridden this horse 6 times, knows the horse very well, working out very well going into the race. Yeah, I'm all over the 2. I think, you know, if you get a price on this horse, I'm definitely going to be hammering it. I think it's a great bet. And underneath, I have the 7. I think the 7 is interesting here. Mystic Lake, Safi, and Irad teaming up. You know, has ridden in the big races, has gotten the job done. Also faltered in the grade 1. But I mean, in this field, in this race, you know, grade 2, I think they can be competitive. They've shown they can be competitive and win the race. You know, maybe a grade 1 is just too much for the horse. But yeah, I mean, this horse also can travel all over. Familiar with Gulfstream very well, does very well over the track. But yeah, and it's Irad, so you can never ever discredit you know, Irad on any of these races. So I've got the 7 and then the 9. Like you said, it makes a ton of sense. It was actually between my top 2 horses, 2 and the 9 in this race. Tyler has been riding lights out at Gulfstream. He's had an absolutely great meet to start. A lot better and kind of surprised me because usually when he comes to Gulfstream, he's kind of competing with the mounts, but he's getting a lot of great opportunities. And 101 speed figure is pretty impressive coming out of this horse and riding in those big races. So not going to get too crazy, too fancy here, but I just went 2 with the 7 and the 9 underneath.
Yeah, it seems to be the consensus here. That's like the podcast trio right here. What is the so what is the odds on the 9, Elio?
The 9 was the favorite was the 9. It was like, no, actually he was 3-1. The 9 was 3-1. The favorite was the 7, excuse me.
Oh, 7
2-1.
Yeah.
And the our horse was 5-1. Nick Style was 5-1.
Love it.
It's the Irad factor.
Yeah.
Got to be right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's just a beast at Gulfstream, but you know.
Yeah. He pretty much runs things down there. So I mean, you put him on a horse and he's going to get the knock on the odds for sure.
Oh yeah. Big time.
Understood. Yep. Let's move on to the 12th race. We're in the 4th leg here, the pick 5. It's a 1.8 miles on the turf. It's the Grade 1 Pegasus World Cup Turf Invitational. It's a purse of $1 million for 4-year-olds and upwards. Okay, Elio, we're 3 legs in. We're solid. We're winning. Now we need a big price here in the 4th leg. Is this where we're going to get it from?
Oh yeah, I have so first of all, at dinner tonight, I had 3 appetizers of pasta. I had a veal chop, I had pistachio ice cream, and what else did I have? I had some chicken parm. So like that's what I ate tonight. I ate enough for like 12 horses. So in what is this? Race 12 right now?
12,
I have the 10 horse Battle of Normandy. Now 20-1 morning line, Jose Ortiz. This horse is in the best form of his life. Listen, turf races, you got to play prices, in my opinion, because this is where you're going to get it. You're going to get big fields. This horse is in the best form of his life. 5-year-old, hasn't run a ton of races, 13 races, 5 firsts. He's won 4 in a row. Absolutely on fire right now. If you get 20-1 on a horse that's won 4 in a row, you got Ortiz riding the last 4 rides, Pratt, Rosario. I mean, like, this is a good horse. At Shug McGahee, 20-1. I'm on that horse.
Oh yeah,
Wow. When
that's a
do you get
monster
20 to
price.
1 on the horse?
Yeah, that's
I mean,
that's a monster.
I don't know if you're going to get that. I mean, you might not get that, but I mean, double digits. You got to play like we all play the shorter prices because, you know, they're probably the best plays. But in races like this, big fields, you know, double digits, I'm on it.
I love that.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it. I mean, we're trying to find prices. The favorites will always be there. It's
Exactly.
Gulfstream.
They'll be there.
They're going to be there. It's really finding where the prices are at. Like maybe we should just change the whole format and just look for prices and not talk about favorites. But I don't see the odds here, but I can only expect who I think is going to be the favorite. I'm actually going to go with the 11 in this race, which is Grand Sonata. Now,
20-1.
20-1. Again, this is probably your price. This is probably got to be the price race, right? Grand Sonata, looking at the whole body of work, has been running nothing but graded stakes races for the majority of 2024. He has 3 speed figures over 100. Been running up against a few of these horses that are in this race last time out in the Fort Lauderdale. And I would say that race, to me, was probably the most disappointing, next to the Breeders' Cup Turf, obviously, where it really didn't have a chance and the odds reflected that it didn't. But it shows up at 23-1, loses by a nose. At 15-1, wins. This horse doesn't care about the odds. And I think Tyler has been riding this horse now for the last 3 times. Johnny V gets on a horse that I think has the contention to be able to sit in a stalking position. If it runs like the Turf Cup, I think it has an opportunity to win. And I'm looking for those kind of fractions. The 145-3 last time at 1 mile and 1/8. That fits well with these. The 2 workouts coming in, 48-1 and then a 47-3.
Yeah.
I mean, the horse is fit. He wins at big prices. You got Velasquez teaming up with Pletch in a race that I feel is wide open. So I'm not going to look any further. I'm going to stick with the 11. Underneath, it's pretty much any man's shot. I think the 6 major dude with IRAD makes a lot of sense. It's got to be some kind of odds-on favorite. There's no doubt in my mind there.
6-1.
What is it?
6-1.
6-1. Chasing the Crown, Zayas and Mike Maker is another one off the pace, moving up in class. That makes a lot of sense, especially with the workouts. 59-3 coming in on the 5 furlongs last time out on January 14th. I love that. And then the 4 would be my last choice underneath if I have to only pick 3. Win for the money, Dylan Davis, Mark Casse. I'm sure I'm going to say right now Dave's probably going to like this horse for the simple fact that it's Dylan Davis. But another horse that makes a lot of sense. I think it makes a lot of sense, especially coming off the Fort Lauderdale. Coming in third, just losing out by a half a length and giving way just to the end. We're right back at 1 mile and 1/8 this race. Workout's nothing excited about, but I did like the form. Just scratch out the Breeders' Cup Mile, and you'd be crazy to want to leave this one off your ticket. So I'm 11, 6, 12, 4.
I have a question. So let me ask you this. If you had a deal with a jockey, okay, let's just say it was Dylan Davis, and Dylan Davis was supposed to wear a certain pants for the year, okay, maybe a Barstool pants, and then all of a sudden he decided to go with somebody else without telling you, would that be a problem? I don't know. I mean, without somebody offered him a certain amount of money for a year, and then without telling you, all of a sudden switched pants. That's a little weird, huh?
That is a little weird.
You
It
might
would be
get
a problem.
bad mojo for the next year. Listen, I'm rooting for Dylan Davis. I'm just saying, like, you would at least a phone call. Now, the person that told me this story that I'm staying at the house with is not mad at all. I'm sort of more mad than the person who actually. I don't understand. How can you not call the person and say you're going to go with the other guy? That's a little weird, but I'm a big Davis fan.
Yeah. I don't know. We've only had one jockey wear our podcast pants, and that was it. So
I've got his number. I'll text him. I'll be like, "Hey, what's going on with these Barstool pants?
What happened?
Yeah, what's going on here? Why aren't you wearing them?"
Listen, an insurance company or a company that's like,
or a $1 billion company that's known by everybody and their grandma.
Yeah.
It's just crazy. I don't know.
I don't know what happened. I don't know if I was
Yeah,
supposed to say that, but whatever. I don't care.
some bad mojo.
If it was,
maybe, you know.
if it was Ruby Steakhouse, I wouldn't be mad because those guys eat for free.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah.
That's true.
No.
Yeah.
that I get.
I think I'm in trouble for saying that. That's okay.
That's all right.
You heard
That's
it
all
here
right.
first on the podcast.
You pick some winners tomorrow, and everything will be under the
Forget about
water
that.
under the
Forget-
bridge. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
right.
gonna run with the 7 here. Nation's Pride. This one I have a good feeling has got to be the favorite.
Yes.
Yeah. It's a classy horse. I mean, everybody who watches horse racing knows what this horse is capable of. They've got some really, really good mounts together. Won the Arlington Millions this year, and then some big races, some Grade 1 class, and I mean, there's really nothing bad you can say about the horse.
Nothing bad. Nothing.
I mean, they ran some big races. They shipped this horse. Obviously, it didn't look like it shipped very well. I mean, that's a tough ask for a horse.
Yep.
Lost by 20 lengths, pulled up. Just not what you're looking for when you're shipping a horse like that. But
Right.
again, if you take that horse off the form, it's a no-brainer for me. It's very classy. It's very good, and it gobbles up turf like nobody's business. So I'm a big fan of the 7. I think that you really got to take a look here and find some value underneath. And I'm glad to see that there are values underneath. I am going to take another short price with the 2 Formidable Man. That's Rispoli and Michael McCarthy. This horse is also coming off of 3 straight. And I mean, I've watched this horse a couple times in California, and they are the real deal in California. I like to see that this horse is also winning in races that are bigger than 3-4 horse fields, which is typically what you see in California racing. But when it comes into the big stakes races, coming off a big Grade 1 win, Rispoli rode this horse to perfection. They're on a hot streak. They're on fire right now. And I like their chances. I really think that they're going to ride really hard here. I think they got a really good opportunity. I like that they're coming from the 2 posts. Easy to get position when they need to. It's all just a question of how they travel and can it take the surface. Coming from California is just a question for me. But I'll have the 2 underneath, and then I have the 6 as well, Major Dude. It very much needs to be in the conversation. Coming off of 2 straight, one of them with Jose Irad. Todd Pletcher. I mean, Major Dude is definitely the dude here. He's got some really big races under his belt. I don't think it's classy enough. That's the only reason why I took him off. Is like, I know they rode early in their career in the Grade 2 and 3 races. They rode in the 4-star Dave. But I would like to see this horse competing consistently at that level and hitting the board at a high clip before I put it on top of my exotic wagering. But I think they're going to be competitive here. So I'm going to land again with the 7 with the 2-6 here in this race.
So that's 7 different horses we just covered in this race. I think it's safe to say it's a spread race.
Yeah.
For race 12. I mean, it's as open as you can get. I had a hard time trying to figure out where the pace was actually going to come from because there's a lot of horses that like to go to the front. And there's horses that have gone to the front before that have, faster half miles. If this thing runs a 47, it's anybody's game. So probably the all button for me if I'm doing any kind of horizontal. It's just too tough to call.
Very tough.
Agreed.
Tough to call. Yeah. I'm glad you took the 7, kid, because it makes the most sense. I didn't like the recent form, and I know you want to scratch that last race off, which I'm totally fine with scratching the last race off. And just taking that off the form, the body of work, everything else looks exactly where you want it to be.
Yep.
I think I had a hard time with that last race and recent workouts. That's about it. But 7 horses out of that race. How many are in this race? 13, 12?
I think 12.
The 12?
All
12.
All of them.
Yeah. So we got about 55% of the field covered for that race. And we're probably going to need it as we go into the last race, which is the biggest race of the day, the feature, which is going to be the Pegasus, the big race, the whole reason everybody's going to be watching for the entire day. 1 mile and 1/8, the Grade 1 Pegasus World Cup Invitational, $3 million purse for 4-year-olds and upwards. Last race of the day here, Elio, you're up $2 million.
Okay.
Who do you like here?
So before I give my pick, can you guys tell me some of the winners recently from the Pegasus? City Light, was that about 4 or 5 years ago?
Let's see here.
Oh, God, I bet you that was longer than that.
Is it
I want to say it's longer than that.
longer than that? Yeah, I think you might be right. I think it might have been like that might have been one of the first ones, actually. Do you think it was City
man.
Light? Anyway,
Let's see.
so my horse,
City of Light was 2019.
yes,
2019.
6 years ago. Oh my God.
Yeah. National Treasure last year.
Yep.
Life is good.
Yep.
Knicks go.
Art Collector.
Yep.
Life is Good. Knicks Go. Mucho Gusto. City of Light. Gun Runner and Arrowgate.
Yeah. So Knicks. What is it? Knicks Go. Yeah, I had that horse, and I had
Knicks
City
Go.
of Light. Those are my two winners I've had in this race, and I feel like White Abario is the horse this year. It's like you don't have to. Don't think too much about it. If this horse gets out of the gate, I think this horse has a real chance to win. Loves this track. I mean, I've seen this horse win at this track with ease so many times. He obviously as a 6-year-old, it's a different story. He's probably a little bit different horse, but this might be one of his last races. And I love his form right now. That first race, they've been sprinting him, I think, 6 or 7 furlongs. I think he's got a first and a second. I think this horse is going to be ready to go. Is this the last race of this horse, you think?
Tough to say. I think,
6 years
it's
old.
ridden so many times too. It's.
Horse has won $5 million. I mean,
yeah. This is a big number. This is a beautiful horse, white horse. I'm taking White Abario. It's one of those horses that I feel like, this race 3 or 4 to 1 usually wins this race. So I'm White Abario in the finality.
Any price underneath you like to win
it? You know what? I'm in the tournament. I'm putting all my money on White Abario. I don't know whether to win or to show, but it's all going on White Abario. That's how I've done well in this tournament. Last year, 3rd place, and I want to do better this year. White Abario will finish it off for me. Hopefully. If I get there.
I'm gonna jump right on that same bandwagon. I'm all over White Abario in this race.
Oh, good.
Safi knows how to get horses ready for the Pegasus. He also knows how to get horses ready for any race in general. But this is his track. The horse is in really, really good form. Yeah, the optional claiming 62,000 was a no-brainer. I mean, that's why he was 1-9 in that race. On Lasix. But he wins off Lasix too. But I'm just saying, like, that was a no-brainer. 103 speed figure in a race that, I mean, he won by 10 lengths. It wasn't even a question. You knew he was going to win. It was just coming out of the barn from Dutrow to Safi. If you take out the races where Dutrow had this horse, it's all Safi. It's everything about this horse's winning ways is when he's in the Safi Junior barn. And that's what's going to happen here. 8 times over the track, 6 wins, a second. I've been big on this horse for a long time. I think just some of the race selections that they had this horse in wasn't the best fit.
Yep.
Who am I? I didn't think he best fit in a lot of races. Can't really say I've liked him in many races in the last couple of years. However, this race, I really, really do truly love him. The January 9th workout, 4 furlongs, 47-4. I mean, that's over the Gulfstream Park surface, not over Palm Meadows, and a 48-1 coming in. Nice, easy 4 furlong breeze. I'm all over the 4 on top. Listen, the 2 makes a lot of sense. How do you leave Saudi Crown out underneath? Yep. Not only from the winning percentage and the percentages just from Brad Cox and everything that he does from a training perspective. He got Flojo on him and winning the Tenacious D. That was a nice little prep race coming in. I think they planned that really well from December 21st to have the Pegasus be the next one in. Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile was not its race, but everything else, again, you got to scratch out races. You can scratch out the Breeders' Cup and go back to what looks to be competitive. 1 minute and 3/5 on a 5 furlong workout coming in. So that's a nice, fresh, sharp workout. I do like the 11, I think makes a lot of sense. Locked, should be your speed, going to be forwardly placed. Lightly raced horse, has run in a lot of great races. Again, the Breeders' Cup Juvenile, not its best opportunity, but still 3rd. Has been a favorite every single race since it's broke its maiden. It's going to be the favorite probably this week. Looks like Morning Lion, I think, from last I saw, was the favorite. It makes a lot of sense. Listen, when you're running 108 and 108 and 4s and 109 and 4s against horses that are typically running 110 and 111s, this horse will be up near the front. It will have a lot of left coming home. Can it meet the test here against some better ones coming late? I don't know. We're going to find out on Saturday.
Yeah.
But those are all turkey. I'm going to give you my price though that I think has a possibility to hit the board. That I think it's 30-1. That's the 12 power squeeze. Javier Castellano. Horse has been out over the Gulfstream Park 3 times with 2 wins and a third. Every time Castellanos rode this horse, you got a grade 1 winner, a grade 3 winner, and a grade 1 third. You've got late pace figures of 103, 104, 99, and 94 in the last 4. Going back to the Alabama, the Acorn. I'm just thinking that not only is Castellano back on this horse for Jorge Delgado, I like the workout coming in on January 11th, a nice 101. Nothing flashy. This horse doesn't really work out in the morning and going to blow your mind, but it can gobble up some ground. It comes 13 lengths off the pace. It can come 5 lengths, 7 lengths off deep. It can tip out wide. I like the stretch run. It's going to have an opportunity. I like power squeeze at 30-1 as my underneath to add on to White Barrio. I mean, I'd love to see it at 412.
I'm using it underneath.
412.
Absolutely.
So that's it. 4, 2, and a lot of sense. 12 is the money play.
So I'm going to be sick if I'm going to be happy for you guys if White Barrio wins. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to be ecstatic for you guys. And I'm going to be sick if he does win because it's probably the one time I'm going against him. I've always bet the horse. I love the horse. I've always been in its corner, but I landed on the 10 here. Skippy Longstocking, the other Saffie Joseph horse.
Yes.
So a little bit of information. I've yet to verify this, but I take it on high regard. Somebody on Twitter I came across that said that the last 7 Pegasus winners were leading at the stretch. So basically said like you can't make up ground, you can't make up enough ground over the dirt to close on the horse. Hasn't happened since like 2012 is what they said. So I was looking at a horse that I could see either be very close to the front, could get the lead, but needs to be right there. I think Skippy's best races were with Tyler aboard. Tyler rode some of the best races on this horse. Yeah, they had that 1 third place finish. It's kind of the blemish on him, but he put this horse on the lead and they didn't look back. Able to get to the front, get positions, running great speed figures, 103, 101, 102, 104. Some really, really solid ones. I mean, really does match up well with the White Barrio and what you're seeing out of that horse as well. But I like what I'm seeing out of this horse coming into the race. Yeah, you ran the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile, didn't get the job done, wasn't your best race, but if you scratch that race, you look at the last 2 coming in, a 101 and a 103 is fantastic in my opinion. 2 grade 2 races, and right there each time, one of them finishing first by 5 lengths, so I think there's a lot to be said there. I think this horse is very sneaky. I don't know what the price is, but I think, this other Saffie Joseph horse is definitely a player here. I also have, let me see here. I also have White Barrio underneath, just because from a speed perspective, they love the track. I mean, this horse was almost unbeatable at Gulfstream. When I saw this horse lose their first race at Gulfstream, I was in awe. I was like shocked because they won so easily in every other race. But White Barrio makes a ton of sense here. I love the horse. Like I said, I'm going to be jumping, doing backflips for you, Elio, when you cash that the tournament with this win. It makes a ton of sense. And then I like the 9 a lot as well here. I think the 9, Mystic Dan. Yeah, I said the closers can't win this race, but I think that this horse can definitely come into the exotics 2nd or 3rd, eat up a lot of ground. I mean, we're talking about some greatness, a Kentucky Derby winner that I don't want to leave off the ticket. I'd be sick if this horse came and gobbled up ground, ate up the show or place money, and then I didn't have it. So they're able to come from the clouds and move if they need to. But I think if you sit in a good spot, they're looking pretty good there. Just from what I've been seeing, the horse looks like it's doing very well coming into the race. Definitely turning a little bit of a page from the last 2 starts, right? A lot really, really quick. I mean, you're talking about, 6 consecutive grade 1 races. I mean, that's a lot of work for a horse to do in a short period of time. So a little bit of time off, a little bit of breather. Let's just get you back into form. Let's target the Pegasus. Let's make a stand there. I think this horse is going to be very competitive. Like I said, I don't think it's going to win, but I think 2nd or 3rd is where I had this horse. So I've got the 9 as well. So Skippy is my big play.
Yeah. Mystic Dan, the last 2 races have been just lackluster.
Awesome.
The speed figures. But the workouts haven't changed. Actually, the workouts have improved before the Malibu. The workouts started to get back to what you were seeing like around the first Saturday in May. So the
Yep.
workouts are improving. So maybe the horses like bounced back. Maybe it was just too
Yeah.
much, too dark.
Yeah.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised if Mystic Dan hits the board. I just I didn't have the confidence due to the fact that I think the pace that Locked is going to set.
Oh, it's gonna be blazing
This
for sure.
horse
Yeah.
is comfortable at a 45 half, albeit
Yep.
it hasn't gone over a mile yet, and we're going to be stretching out. So
Right.
that is going to be some fast fractions at the early portion of this race. We're going to see who's going to try to go with that horse. And that's why I think closers are actually going to benefit from it. You know, the times from the last, I'm just looking from the information that we gave earlier here since 2017. Those races were all 148, 149. I mean, let me pull them back up here. 146 was Arrogate, 147 and 4 Gunrunner, 147 and 7 City of Light, 148 and 9 Mucho Gusto, 147 and 8 Knicks Go, 148 and 9 Life is Good, 149 and 4 Art Collector, and 150 and 5 for National Treasure. And National Treasure is a front runner, so I mean that was a slow pace, and then just held on and just didn't give way because of the slow fractions. You're going to see a way faster pace early than we've, in my opinion, and what you've probably seen in the Pegasus before. So
White Barrio
closers may have
closers, and White Barrio is about 3 back wide. He's going to come down the lane and storm with that white face.
It is a beautiful horse. I mean, the horse is, just majestic looking how white they are, and the colors also pop really nice.
I love your pick with Skippy Longstocking though. I bet that horse so many times. I love that horse. That's what with the big races. It's like we've been on all these horses so many times.
Yeah.
That, for all the different races, and there's a few of them obviously that each of us have bet different times, and like Skippy Longstocking has been like one of my favorites. So yeah, I'm definitely going to use that horse underneath as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Stronghold could press a little bit as well. Shipping it from Santa Anita for Antonio Fresu. I think that's Antonio's only mount of the day, if I'm not mistaken, on the 6.
He's I don't know if you guys watch a lot of California racing, but Antonio Fresu he's a killer out there. He's
legit.
Good.
Yeah.
He's really good. Yeah,
he's good.
He's so him and like what's his name? Juan Hernandez.
JJ?
Those two are like those two are just monsters. But Fresu came alive, I think it was like last year, and he just turned a page, and now he's just he's the man out there. He's kind of like Flavian 2.0. When Flavian is out there dominating, now it's Antonio, So but yeah, like you said, Elio too, like you said, there's just such an emotional tie to some of these horses after you bet them so many times, you watched them, and you've cashed in a couple races betting them, like it's hard to go against some of these horses. Like, I really do like Saudi Crown. I was looking at that horse really a lot. I've cashed a couple of races with that horse, and it was hard for me to go against. But some of these horses I just feel like have kind of the home field advantage too. So I don't know. Yeah, it'll be an interesting race. I'm excited for it though. I think this is a kind of a more of an open race than I feel like I've seen in a couple of years. So
that's why you're gonna like even on White Barrio, you're gonna probably get 3 or 4 to 1, which you don't think a horse who's 6 for 8 at Gulfstream, like won 1 million races like that. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's great pricing for sure.
These big race days, you can get some really good odds on horses you like, and don't let the odds fool you because people are going with, with the chalks that make sense on paper sometimes, but aren't necessarily the best horses in the races sometimes. I think we've already proven that with some handicapping we've done today.
Right.
It wasn't all chalk. There's some value there. But that's your late pick 5. That is the Pegasus. Going to be an exciting day of racing on Saturday. It's almost like the atypical for me. It's like January's coming to an end. Thank God with the cold weather. February's
is it 0 degrees out there right now?
Yeah, we're just coming off like
cold.
a 2-week 0 minus wind chills.
9 degrees.
It's going to warm up. It's going to get to a balmy 30 degrees here by next week, which we'll take.
So you're going to retire in Florida? Let me ask you that. Are you going to?
No.
You're going to stay in the cold. Are you going to come down?
I'll be here. Yeah, I know. I think there's always a great option to snowbird it. I think is a great option. Arizona.
It's like 60 days of warm. Like from after Christmas, like January, come back like first week in March or something.
Yeah.
I was having
January,
flashbacks.
February.
I was having flashbacks to my bachelor party when we were out there in January, and I was like, "Oh man!"
I was just saying that.
Wouldn't
It's a
be
year
nice
ago
to be.
today.
I was in the pool. I was literally just in the pool for like half the day. Then we get ready. We go to the track, hang out. Yeah. I mean, Florida.
Yeah.
If I could, I would definitely
That's what I want to do.
spend some time there. Yeah.
I'm saving my nickels. I'm saving my.
Yeah, golfing, swimming, warm weather, track.
Not
That's
much
it.
more you can
Like.
ask for.
No.
Yeah, not much more you can ask for.
No, really.
Yeah. Elio, I'm sure we'll chat over the course of the weekend here and for
Yeah.
Saturday. Good luck tomorrow in your tournament plays. Let's get a seat at the table.
Yep.
Let's get us a seat.
I'm trying. I told you guys I have two from last year. I have two entries to the NHC, so I have two $10,000 buy-ins for March. So I'm going to Vegas in March.
That's sick.
And I played it one other time. I won one like maybe 2 years ago, and it's the crazy. Have you guys played in that tournament?
I have not. No.
Yeah,
Not yet, at least.
It's so many. I've never played I've never done horse racing where I was so sick of horses by the end of I'm telling you, it's like 60 races in a day. Like I was like, how am I supposed to handicap all these races? So now I have two cards. I might be phoning a friend to you guys in March because there's so many races in that day, in those 2 days. So, and you're in Vegas, so you're up to like 3 a.m. the night before, right? So, I'm thinking of bringing my family out there. I'm thinking just so I don't like go out or anything. I'm just sort of
It'll get you grounded.
Yeah,
that's a safe play. I like it. Yeah, those tournaments are like the OTB on like steroids.
Yeah,
it's insane. The chaos that ensues. Of all these guys just screaming at different races. You're like, what is going on? You know
what I did last time is it's probably not the smartest thing is I went there, I advanced all my bets, which you probably shouldn't do because depending how you're doing, you can sort of play as you go. But I was like, there's like 1,000 dudes like in this little room. Like I had to get out. So I literally advanced the bets, went to my hotel room at the Wynn and just watched the races. Literally watched the races. I didn't do too well. But so maybe
awesome.
You got to be in the room with all the degenerates and get the feel,
I know.
Yeah.
I know this time. Well, if I win Pegasus, I won't leave.
How's the hockey? You got any hockey tips, picks, selections?
Oh, hockey. So I've won 3 in a row. It's been a rough year. I've won 3 in a row. And I'm just sort of, the league is way down in scoring. So I'm sort of picking my poison right now. My games are so far down from years past, but I mean, the league is just different. So I bet every game that I post. So I don't want to, I don't like to lose. So I haven't given. So we're like I said, 3 in a row with one. So we're trending upward, but it's a tough business this year. It's a tough business.
Yeah.
I was gonna text you during the slump, but I was like, I probably shouldn't. I just want to.
No.
I was just gonna give you some words of encouragement, like keep
Thank
swinging.
you.
But I was like,
I need it. My wife doesn't like me. Like Dave doesn't like. There's a lot of people that don't like me. So yeah.
Hey, that's betting 101 there.
It is betting.
The ebbs and flows. You can't always be unconsciously.
I know this, and like I said, this year the scoring's down. People ask me what it is. It's a combination of everything. It's like less shots. I feel like teams are trying to make the perfect passes, like not just shooting the puck and getting tips in. So it's just like
getting too cute
things.
Yeah.
Is this a business meeting too with you and Dave on IceCon? You trying to get IceCon going?
Yeah, he kept asking me. The ice people want it in Columbus, and I hate the cold, but I mean I should probably give what they want. So I was originally it was going to be in Nashville, and but I'm sort of maybe considering Columbus. I was just in Columbus for a game like a couple weeks ago, so maybe
I saw the video.
Yeah, so we won. Anyway, I'll do anything for a win. Anything for a win.
That's what I'm talking about.
Go to the game, fly to Columbus, go to the game just to get the over.
I had to.
You have to.
Yeah.
It was
You have to.
bad. I'm 2-0 on the road this year. So.
There you go. Talk to Dave, man. Just
Yeah.
rotate,
I
pick a
know,
new spot.
I know.
Play the
Except my
over.
family's gonna disown me. I'm going away every which way, but
Awesome. Well, congratulations on the streak. Let's keep that going. And, let's catch this Pick 5 ticket on Saturday.
Yep.
Really appreciate you taking the time. I know you had a long day with travel and a lot of food and 16-course meal with Dave, but we're glad you were able to.
Wait, I think I might have had 1 hour of sleep.
Oh,
And
wow.
The crazy thing is, so I sit down in my seat on the plane, and the guy next to me takes his shoes off and falls asleep 10 seconds in. He slept for 4 hours. I'm like, I wish I could do that.
That's a criminal move.
Oh,
Taking your shoes off on a plane is criminal.
Yeah, it was
That's criminal.
Yeah, it was aggressive. He had work boots and took them off and fell asleep in 10 seconds.
Oh my God.
And
man.
Like so I went to bed at like 11 the night before. I didn't fall asleep till maybe 1:32. I woke up at 4, and my car picked me up at 4:20. And so I haven't slept yet, but I'm fine. Listen, I'm gambling and I'm in Florida, so it's not like I'm working. So whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And you get your eyes on the prize. We got 2 big days ahead of us.
That's right.
How can you sleep when you got business to handle?
I'm gonna sleep tonight very good. And, hopefully get in the pool for a minute. He put the heat on. It's 85 in the pool. It's about 58, 60 out.
Nice.
Yeah, bump the heat up. I gotta get in this pool for a little bit.
I told him I
gotta get a soak.
Well, thanks, guys.
Well, thanks for coming on, man.
We'll
Thanks
talk
a lot, Elio.
on Saturday.
Sounds good, man.
Yeah, for sure. Keep your phone on.
Thanks, guys.
All right, see ya.
All right, thanks, buddy. See ya. Oh man, good old Elio.
The man.
It's been that's a long day of travel.
Yeah, but I mean, when you're on
flight.
vacation mode, you're on vacation mode. And you're kind of like, I'd probably be the same way. I'd be like, all right, I don't want to sleep.
I wouldn't get a seat either.
Yeah,
he's a fucking trooper, dude.
Yeah, oh yeah,
right. Push it through. And I really I like the selections that we got coming in. I love having Elio on. He has a different set of eyes. Sometimes we dock and we've got like 4 of the same picks, which we kind of did a little bit. I love he's got fresh eyes. He brings some good, different angles to be looking at. And there's no doubt in my mind I'm going to be putting him on my ticket. I mean, it'd be crazy not to. So
big race days, big prices.
Big fields, big everything.
He's the one that, usually you see Dave. He'll post like his, I'm carrying the syndicate this year, this time. I hope it's Elio this week. I have a good feeling that Elio's going to be the hot hand here at Pegasus. So.
Yeah, it's a long day, dude. Though that's
it's a long
first of all, it's 2 days. I think that's a lot of pressure for 2 days. You know what I mean? And the dollars that they got, like, yeah, I know it's a business trip. Fuck, dude. I'd like to be on that business trip just for briefly. That's it, man. It's great. Anything else you got, kid? We got I don't know, 2 games coming up this Sunday. Football.
Yeah,
I'm looking for Bills in Washington. Bills in Washington would be the best.
Washington. Kansas City, Washington. I want to see Jaden Daniels beat Mahomes. All for my card stock. If it's gonna be Kansas City, then it's got to be Washington because I want Washington to beat them. They have the rookie beat them and like have his decline start. But I really hope Buffalo gets an opportunity. Tired of them losing to Kansas City. Give them a shot at least in the big game. See if they can pull one. That city's been dying for one. Not that there aren't other cities, but that city. So is Detroit, but they got handled. So
yeah, there's a handful of teams that haven't won a Super Bowl yet, but Buffalo's been there too many times. Them in Minnesota, which that's a different story. But it's too early for me on prop bets. Too early for me to even call out prop bets for Sunday.
Agreed.
But maybe next week we'll have some Super Bowl prop plays. We got 2 weeks after.
2 weeks for the Super Bowl. Oh, I was hot last year on the prop bets for the Super Bowl.
You did.
I think I had like $150 on a coin flip last year. So
yeah,
and we
I do remember that.
Yeah,
started out hot.
I already think I know what I'm betting, but I don't want to put it out there yet.
No, well, we got 2 weeks. Let's even see who the players are first. So
Well, I'm saying from the coin flip. I know
All
what I'm
right.
going this year.
Oh, you know what you're going on the coin flip.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe we'll have to put a graph together for our prop plays, and we'll put a
Shoot it
series
up there.
up there, and we'll put the video up there and call them out
For sure.
in 2 weeks before the Super Bowl. All right, we're gonna wrap it up here a little longer than normal here. Thanks everybody for listening and watching. Be sure to tune in. We'll have the ticket out on Saturday. For myself, Joey Cena and the kid. Till next week. See ya.